Okay, aloha everyone. Welcome to the Hawaii State Senate Health Committee's Wednesday, March 24th, 1 p.m. Health Agenda. I'm Jarrett Kehokalole, Chair of the committee. I'm joined by my fellow Health Committee members, Vice Chair Senator Rosalyn Baker, Senator Sharon Moriwaki, Senator Joyce-Ann Buenaventura, and Senator Kurt Favela. We are streaming live on YouTube, and in the unlikely event that we must abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties, we will try to get back online as soon as we can. Today is the deadline, so I intend to move out all of these measures on this agenda at the end of the proceeding. For those of you who are testifying, just a quick note, your audio and video will be muted until it is your turn to testify. We do have a 2-minute time limit per testifier. This is a 90-minute hearing, and we'd like, again, to make sure we vote all these measures out before the conclusion of our time slot. If there are temporary technical glitches during your turn to testify, please stand by. We'll try to get you back on, but we may move on and try and provide time for you later. I've reviewed all your submitted testimony and it has been provided to the members of the committee. So in the interest of time, I'd like to encourage you to stand on your testimony rather than reading it verbatim, or use your 2 minutes to augment or clarify your remarks. The first measure on the agenda is HB 1281 HD1, relating to emergency medical services. This establishes a 4-year transfer of certain duties, functions, and powers relating to the emergency medical services for the City and County of Honolulu from the Department of Health. It begins the transition with training and billing for emergency services on July 1 and appropriates, general funds to the City and County of Honolulu for EMS services for fiscal years 2021 and 2022 and 2023. First up, we have the Attorney General's office with comments.
Good afternoon, Chair sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Kehokalole and members of the committee. My name is Andrea Armitage, and I'm a Deputy Attorney General. And my testimony is really brief. Basically, what it says is that when you transfer a program to the city, from the state transfers a program to the city, it needs to share in the funding of that. They can't just move it as an unfunded mandate completely. So it would be good. This bill does give them some monies. I believe there is a proposed SD1 from the Department of Health that specifically states in it that this transfer of monies is for the purpose of, from Section 5 of Article 8 of the Constitution of cost sharing. So that's basically our concern.
Thank you very much. Next, the Department of Health in support.
Good afternoon, Chair Kehokalole, Vice Chair Baker, and members of the Senate Health Committee. My name is Lauren Kim, testifying on behalf of Dr. Char, who was unavailable to testify on this very important measure. We have our testimony in support. We are submitting an SD1 proposed. Very quickly, the SD1 proposes a framework for transferring and authorized autonomy to the City and County of Honolulu. It is worth emphasizing that the City and County of Honolulu EMS system is the only EMS system under consideration. There is absolutely no serious discussion or planning to disturb the existing arrangement for neighbor island EMS systems. That is completely off the table, and the department would not support that. That being said, this is a major opportunity, and I do not wish to speak for the city, but I think I can say that both city administration and the Department of Health recognize the long-term benefits to this arrangement to improve quality, resilience, efficiency, and customer service for residents and visitors on Oahu. That said, it is complex, complicated, and we would like to use the framework provided by the SD1 proposed to continue to manage and identify the risks so that we go into this eyes wide open. The Department of Health certainly is not setting anybody up to fail. We think this is a win-win for everybody, and we are committed to be at the table cross every T and dot every I to make sure that this happens. I have colleagues, including Dr. Bronstein, who is the branch chief of EMS, available to answer any questions. Otherwise, we will stand on our testimony in strong support with a recommended SD1 proposed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. United Public Workers with comments.
Good afternoon, Senator Keo'olole, Vice Chair Baker, members of the committee, Dan Kochi with UPW Hawaii. We'll stand in our written comments. Just wanted to emphasize, or just to note from our testimony, UPW is the exclusive bargaining representative for Unit 10, which does also include members from EMS. And based off of some of the statements from the previous speakers, it does sound like our other concern regarding the proposal and making sure that the financial responsibilities for the city is not hampered, and also to make sure that we are supporting EMS and their future ability to recruit, hire, and retain qualified personnel and positions remains of utmost importance to our members. And we're happy to answer any questions and also happy to engage in any future stakeholder discussion. So thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you very much. Next, offering late testimony, the Honolulu Emergency Services Department.
Senators, Chair, I'm James Ireland. I'm the Director Designee from Honolulu Emergency Services Department. We stand by on our written testimony. And in short, I think we embrace the opportunity, but do have concerns about the finances as the bill was originally written. I will say we are making progress in our discussions with the health department on potentially mitigating those concerns. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all the testimony submitted from individuals who indicated they would be present on the conference. Is there anyone else on the conference who would like to testify on this measure? Okay, I'd like to note for the record the written opposition testimony of Yulia Muschenko, and we also had anonymous comments. That's all the testimony we've received. Members, are there any questions? Senator Favela.
I'd just like some clarification by us phasing out the state funding. Is that gonna, I guess maybe to the Department of Health, is this gonna cut back on services and ability for our neighbor island families in getting ambulances and EMS?
Thank you for the question, Senator Favela, and the opportunity to clarify. It is our intention and our goal to leave neighbor island EMS services untouched and not disrupted. It is completely out of scope. We are not, our plan is not to take away from anybody else and give to EMS just to make this happen. So, you know, we are very interested in maintaining present level of funding for the neighbor islands. And we are focused on the opportunity in front of us for Honolulu EMS to enhance and improve EMS service response on the island of Hawaii. Does that address your concerns?
Thank you.
Okay, members, any other questions? Okay, we're going to move to the next measure on the agenda, HB 991 House Draft 2, relating to the disclosure of vital statistics records. This authorizes the Department of Health to disclose vital statistics records for public health and law enforcement purposes. First up, we have the Department of Health in support.
Good afternoon, Chair. This is Lauren Kim again, testifying in my capacity as the Acting State Registrar for the Vital Records Office. Thank you for hearing this bill. It's a very important piece of legislation that assures we can share vital information, identifiable data to research partners and to law enforcement. This is going to be particularly useful as we digest and look back at how COVID has impacted our community. The department suggests 2 amendments. In our original drafts, we requested the repeal of subsection D. We would like to please have that restored. A public health index looks something like this. It's a list of births and deaths, marriages and divorce by date. We thought it was an outdated risk to identity theft, but after consulting with the Hawaii State Library System, they said it is actually a very useful and frequently requested tool for families to do genealogical research. Therefore, if we can amend the shall to may in subsection D, that would make us more comfortable to address any risks that come up in the future. We originally proposed that it be repealed out of an abundance of caution. We didn't want anybody flipping through and stealing people's identities. But amending shall to may allows the public to have continued access to a popular resource. And if and when there is a significant event, we can reassess the relative risk of having this information out there. The second amendment we wish to recommend is to increase from 75 years to 115 years the age of access of a vital record. The issue here is my dad, who is 89, when he is 74, you have to have a very good documented reason to access his birth records, even for genealogical purposes. However, the day he turns 75, a person may ask for access to his birth certificate for genealogical purposes. Whether they actually have that intention in mind, that can be difficult to prove. So it's a question of equal protection. Why does a 74-year-old have more strict confidentiality provisions than a 75-year-old? And the reason we pick 115, it could be 100, is that according to our death data, the longest lived person in Hawaii was 114 years old. So this is an issue about equal protection under the law, and I'm available for questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Department of Transportation in support.
David Rodriguez of the Department of Transportation, and we stand in our written testimony and support, available to answer any questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Civil Beat Law Center for the Public Interest in opposition.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Brian Black, Executive Director of Civil Beat Law Center for the Public Interest. And our opposition is focused solely on the issue of repealing the provision regarding the vital records indices. Those are a critical public resource and should not be removed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all the live testimony we have before us. Is there anyone else who would like to testify on this measure? Okay, also submitting written testimony, we have the Hawaii Chapter Society of Professional Journalists in opposition, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs in support, and the Office of Information Practices offering comments. Yulia Muzchenko in opposition, and late testimony from the Honolulu Police Department in support. Members, are there any questions?
I have a question,
Senator
Chair.
San Buenaventura.
Thank you. So Lauren Kim.
Yes, Senator.
Okay, so I noticed that you folks are adding enforcement and a person in the Department of Health who, I guess for public health purposes. My question is, and if you look at Section 8, a personal representative, do you have any problems with amending a personal representative or trustee of the registrant's estate or trust?
Actually, that clarifying language is my immediate thought is that that's a good idea. Personally, we deal with estates frequently, and we do request, for example, if you're a contract of retainership. So if you're an attorney representing the family and you can establish that fact and provide documentary evidence, you would qualify as a personal representative. So clarifying that would be good as long as the definition doesn't limit it. But I don't think that's the case. If there's an or in there, that I don't think it limits.
So that that minor amendment of trustee or the registrant's estate or trust is something the Department of Health would support.
Unless my Deputy Attorney General identifies an issue that I am not immediately realizing, yes, we would support that amendment.
Thank you very much.
Members, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to the next measure on the agenda, HB 1032 HD1, relating to the Uniform Controlled Substances Act. This updates the Uniform Controlled Substances Act, Chapter 329, to make it consistent with amendments in the Federal Controlled Substances Law as required by law. First testifier we have is the Department of Public Safety and Support.
Good afternoon, Chair. Jared Redula, the State Narcotics Administrator. I want to thank you and the committee for hearing this bill this afternoon. It's a very important bill. Last year, PSD, in accordance with the statute, temporarily designated several controlled substances on the state schedule in alignment with recent federal action. In addition, I emergency scheduled two substances which were an imminent threat to public safety. This proposal proposes to make those designations permanent. In addition, we are proposing as well to deschedule or take away controlled substances regulation from certain cannabidiol drugs that are derived from cannabis, and in this particular case, a drug known as Epidiolex, which is used to treat seizure disorders in children and to give relief to families and those children. I thank you very much for hearing this bill, and we'll stand on our testimony. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have, with late testimony, Clifton Otto in support. Okay, that's all the testimony we've received. Did we miss anyone? Members, any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to a Senate Concurrent Resolution 33, SR 22, requesting the Office of Primary Care and Rural Health to facilitate discussions with key community health and social service organizations within West Hawaii and major healthcare stakeholders to address health and wellness needs of the most vulnerable by aligning the goals and objectives of key organizations into one shared 2030 health vision plan. Department of Health offering comments.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Matthew Shim. I'm Chief of the Family Health Services Division at the Hawaii State Department of Health. The department stands on its written comments and is available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all the testimony we've received on this measure. Is there anyone else on the conference who would like to testify? Members, questions? Okay, then we'll move to the next resolution on the agenda, SCR 37, SR 26, requesting the Department of Health to report on cardiopulmonary resuscitation instruction being offered throughout state departments. Department of Health, offering comments.
Thank you, Chair Kehokalole and Vice Chair Baker. I'm Lola Irvin with the Department of Health, and the department provides comments. And just really briefly, the department does not currently provide or promote CPR instruction. So it's kind of contrary to the request of this concurrent reso for us to collect the information on our activities. We can tell you it's 0. So thank you so much for the opportunity to provide comments.
Thank you. That's all the testimony we've received on this measure. Members, are there any questions? Okay, next resolution on the agenda is SCR 255, SR 214, requesting that June 27th of each year be recognized as Post-Traumatic Stress Injury Awareness Day, and designating the month of June of each year as Post-Traumatic Stress Injury Awareness Month in Hawaii. We only have one testifier on this who indicated they would not be present, Yulia Muschenko, in support. So I guess there are no questions to ask. So we'll just move to the last measure on the agenda, SCR 35, SR 24, requesting the Department of Health to provide a plan for improving its process for fulfilling vital record requests from Neighbor Island residents. Department of Health.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Lord Kim again, testifying as Acting State Registrar in the Vital Records Office. We stand on our testimony providing comments, acknowledging the unfortunate experience of the neighbor islands and describing steps we've taken to make sure that doesn't happen again. And we are committed to that course of continuous quality improvement. Thank you, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you very much. That's all the testimony we've received. Is there anyone else who would like to testify on the conference? Okay, members, any questions? All right, seeing none, we're going to recess for decision. Oh, sorry, Senator Moriwaki, go ahead.
Question.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, just a quick question of Department of Health on this SCR 37. You're saying that that you don't do training but can you provide information on who is doing training? I think it was health resources.
Yes, that's me. Thank you,
Training,
Senator.
but would you have access to know who does training and provide for information on this resolution?
That would take quite a bit of effort in that there are private providers who do so. And so it would be a matter of whether those private providers responded to the Department of Health, since we are not responsible for certifying or setting standards for CPR training. And we did ask the American Heart Association as well. And they also had told us that, yeah, they also don't track it either. And so that's, so what we do is more on the prevention side in terms of helping providers do screening, and especially if someone's screened but not diagnosed with hypertension, and then to help set up training for high blood pressure management and stroke prevention. So that is more along the work we do.
Might you have a suggestion on how we might amend this resolution so we can find ways in which we know what kinds of training or what's available that might be able to help us going forward?
We could put a call out to some of the stakeholders like the American Heart Association to find out if they have a way of collecting that information. I know they currently don't, but that is certainly something that we could work with them to see if we might, and I don't, we could put a questionnaire online perhaps, and it would certainly be voluntary since we don't weigh in on setting standards or licensing, and we don't pay for those services. But we can certainly make an attempt, and we can talk to our stakeholders and partners. So we can make an attempt.
Okay. So if we change this resolution to have the Department of Health at least make a call out or somehow get information from providers, you have a website that it can be done. So that might be a way of getting some of the information that is requested in this resolution.
We can do that. So the American Heart Association and Red Cross are the two primary organizations that we would work with.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Any other questions, members? Okay, seeing none, we're going to recess for decision making. Recess.
Opening up breakup room.
Okay, we're going to reconvene on our 1 p.m. agenda. This is Health Committee, and then after that, we'll move right into the DM on 1:30 on our 1:30 agenda. The first measure on the agenda, HB 1281 HD1. This is relating to the EMS transition.
Oh, you know what?
This is relating to the EMS transition to the city and county of Honolulu. The recommendation is going to be sorry, I don't have my notes.
Okay.
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't have my notes on this because we have and I realize we have the higher ed committee here. So I'm going to recess on that agenda, and then we'll move into our 1:30 p.m. agenda. Senator Kim, do you want to recess or should we go into DM?
Something's wrong with my video, so we can just go in. I don't know what it is. Oh, there it is. Okay. We can just go in.
You want to go in and just vote?
Yeah, if you'll explain the recommendations and.
Okay. Okay, we're going to convene our 1:30 p.m. joint decision-making agenda between the committees on health
Yeah, this one. I need this one.
and the committees on higher education. to vote on two measures that we heard yesterday, HB 1296 and HB 1297. So the first measure, HB 1297, relating to state funds. This repeals the Hawaii Tobacco Prevention and Control Trust Fund and transfers the unencumbered balances to the general fund. I'm going to recommend that we keep the advisory committee, that we accept the Attorney General amendment to extend the lapse date out 1 year, that we blank out the general fund appropriations correspondingly, and defect the effective date. Members, any discussion?
I'm sorry, Senator, there are also tech amendments.
Oh, there are also technical and non-substantive amendments. Any discussion?
This is House Bill 1296.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair, HB 1296 passing with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Vice Chair.
Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes no. Senator Moriwaki,
Reservation.
Senator San Buenaventura,
Reservation.
Senator Favela. Senator Favela.
Reservation.
Chair, your recommendations adopted.
Thank you.
For the Higher Education Committee, same recommendation to pass House Bill 1296 with amendments. Any discussion, members? Hearing none, chair votes aye.
For House Bill 96, in the draft one, recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair votes aye. Vice Chair with reservations. Senator Agaran, Keith Agaran.
Aye.
Senator Wakai.
Yes.
Senator Favela.
Reservations.
Measures adopted, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next measure, HB 1297, HD2. The recommendation on this one is to adopt the proposed SD1, and I'll turn it over to the Higher Ed Chair for her further suggested amendments.
Recommendations to remove the requirement that the director of the Cancer Center of Hawaii report to the dean of the John A. Burns School of Medicine. So the reporting requirements will stay the same as it is currently. And also insert the language from House Bill 1069, House Draft 1, that amends the reporting requirement, the Hawaii Cancer Research Special Fund from semi-annually to annually, and to make technical amendments and defect the date. Any discussion? Okay.
Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair, HB 1297, passing with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki.
Aye.
Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendations adopted.
For Higher Education Committee, same recommendations to pass 1297 with amendments. Any discussion again? Hearing none, chair votes aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Keith Agaran.
Aye.
Senator Wakai.
Yes.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Measures adopted, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, members. Health Committee, thank you. And we are adjourning the joint committee decision-making. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna reconvene our Wednesday, March 24th, 1 p.m. agenda. First bill, HB 1281, HD1, relating to emergency medical services. This is the Oahu EMS bill. The recommendation is to adopt the proposed SD1 put forth by the Department of Health. I'm just going to read the major elements for the record. It proposes a 4-year transition time frame beginning on July 1st, 2021. Continues state general funding on a sliding scale from 100% the first year to 0 the 4th year, 2024. It includes Oahu's proportionate share of car registration fees, which in FY 2020 was approximately $3.5 million. It establishes a perpetual ceiling on state financial support at the fiscal 2021 levels. This is for the city and county of Honolulu. It updates the HRS, authorizing the city and county of Honolulu to have autonomous control over their EMS system, but still participate in system-wide activities such as EMSAC. And it authorizes the city and county of Honolulu to propose new services and enhance revenue pursuant to Act 40, 2019. Members, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair, HB 1281, passing with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki. Senator Moriwaki. Excused. Senator San Buenaventura. Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator Favela.
Reservations.
Thank you. Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. Next measure, HB 991, relating to the disclosure of vital statistics records. This authorizes the Department of Health to disclose vital statistics records for public health and law enforcement purposes. The recommendation here is to adopt the 2 Department of Health amendments, except to leave the term shall in the restored subsection D. We also have technical non-substantive amendments, and I'd like to make this measure effective upon approval. Any discussion?
Yes, you're also going to add in on page 2, line 15, the word trustee next to a personal representative or the registrant's estate or trust. And on page 3, subsection 12, to include or a beneficiary of a will or trust.
Right. Thank you very much for the reminder. We will also be adopting Senator San Buenaventura's amendments.
Thank you.
Any other recommendations? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair, HB 991, passing with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki. Excuse. Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. Next measure, HB 1032, relating to the Uniform Controlled Substances Act. The recommendation is to pass this measure unamended. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair, HB 1032 HD1, passing as is. Vice Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki. Excuse. Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. We now have some resolutions. The first is SCR 32, SR 22, requesting the Office of Primary Care and Rural Health to facilitate discussions on West Hawaii about the 2030 Health Vision Plan. The recommendation is to pass this measure out unamended. Any discussion? Seeing none, Vice Chair, SCR 33 and SR 22, passing unamended. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki is excused. Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. Next measure, SCR 37, SR 26. The recommendation, this is requesting the Department of Health to report on cardiopulmonary resuscitation instruction being offered throughout state departments. The recommendation is to add in the first resolve clause, request that the Department of Health survey and report. We also have some technical amendments. Any discussion? Seeing none, Vice Chair, SCR 37, SR 26, passing with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator excuse. Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. Next measure, SCR 255, SR 214, requesting that June 27th of each year be recognized as Post-Traumatic Stress Injury Awareness Day, and designating the month of June of each year as Post-Traumatic Stress Injury Awareness Month in Hawaii. The recommendation is to pass this resolution out unamended. Any discussion? Seeing none, Vice Chair, SCR 255, SR 214, unamended. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki. Excuse. Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Next measure, SCR 35, SR 24, requesting the Department of Health to provide a plan for improving its process for fulfilling vital record requests from neighbor island residents. The recommendation is to pass this measure with technical amendments. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair, SCR 35, SR 24, passing with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki. Excuse. Senator San Buenaventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. We're adjourned.